Hi, game time, long ball time, and daily Copic time. How you doing, everybody? I'm Chad Copic. Daily Copic, of course, brought to you away by the marvelous people at Carmichael's, the place for steaks in Chicago, 1052 West Monroe Street. Take it from me. Stop by. Steaks are going to melt in your mouth. My gosh, was it really 1988 that this 15-year-old man next to me led Notre Dame to a national championship?
Option, Rice wide open, streaking down the sidelines, and he's going to score. Touchdown. No flags, Notre Dame.
We welcome Tony Rice. Tell the truth. That happened 2 weeks ago.
You know, I wish it did, but it was a long time ago. And some of these people that watch Notre Dame right now, they never heard of us. So, you know, you're looking at those young guys, and my kids are like, "What did you do, Dad, at Notre Dame?" So they learn the history about Notre Dame, and learn about what we did as a team in 1988.
Let me ask you, in your opinion, Tony, how badly did Charlie Weiss damage the Notre Dame football program?
I don't think he really damaged anything at Notre Dame. It's just more of knowing his personnel, and I've been so spoiled with Coach Holtz that he knew his personnel and put us in the right situation. And maybe Coach Weiss didn't, but I don't know. I know as a person, he's a great person, and I met with him a couple of times, and I really enjoyed our conversations.
I love the roles. Get a great kick out of him as a football coach, as a commentator, as a banquet speaker, as a motivator. What was the greatest attribute Lou Holtz brought to the table for Tony Rice and your national championship club that knocked off Major Harris in West Virginia?
Well, first of all, he put the liking in me because practice was hard. Game time was easy. When you come to the game time, coaches should call some of the plays we haven't ran in 3 or 4 weeks. But you learn his mentality, you learn what he really meant, what play he really meant to call. So I went out there thinking just like him. And that's one thing that he did really well to equip us with our abilities that we already have, but then to put us in a good situation, want me to think just like he did.
Tony, National Football League illustrating a tremendous concern about head injuries with football players. This game is fast. It's remarkably violent. You've got 255-pound linebackers who are running 4.3s and 4.4s. Where do you think this game is going to be 10 years from now?
Well, you know, each years, all the years getting closer, it just get faster, bigger, stronger. It's like Steve Austin, a man barely alive. We can rebuild him. But I think they're putting something in people's food. I don't know. They're making them big, they're making them faster, making them stronger, and it's taking the game to another notch. Another notch that in order to be where you want to be, you're going to have to work hard. In the weight room, work hard on the football field because these guys are getting bigger, faster, and stronger.
Let me ask you about Terrell Pryor at Ohio State, Jim Tressel at Ohio State. What's the responsibility of a football coach? You've got this large collection of athletes. You're expected to be a coach, a father figure, a priest, a friend. I mean, at what point do we say, you know what, a head coach only has 24 hours in one given day. He can't be held completely responsible for the conduct of all his athletes. I mean, that being said, Tressel was completely at fault for not telling compliance in the university about what he knew about Pryor and the other athletes involved with the guy who ran the tattoo parlor. But what is really the responsibility of a head coach? At some point, individuals have to take responsibility upon themselves.
I think it goes back to the parents, the way you were raised. And me being from South Carolina, my grandmother did the best she could in order to put me in the right situation. And for her to say, you're going to go to Notre Dame and make something of yourself, I had a responsibility. And she bestowed that responsibility onto me that you better go and make it happen. Do whatever it takes. Now, the coaches in their head, yeah, they cannot look at everything that's going on. And in the Ohio State situation, they didn't. But that's all over the United States. You know, the coaches can do only what they're allowed to do, because if they didn't, they'd have to be a bald head like I am, because they're too busy worrying about what the kids are getting into these days. But Coach Tressel, I met him a couple of times. A great coach. Again, the situation he knew and he didn't report it. You know, that's his call. So you know, he resigned, and I don't know the other extent of it. But I know while at Notre Dame, I did what I had to do, and I tried to put myself in the right situation because I wanted to make my grandparents and my mom proud to see me graduate from the University of Notre Dame.
Beneath the Golden Dome, playing football is a challenge. You're on national television every week. The alumni always has completely unrealistic expectations. That being said, you can't flow through academically.
No.
It's not like other schools. I mean, the demands on an individual to pull grades are significant. Were there ever times as a quarterback where you're breaking down film, you're going to practice, you're trying to keep up academically, and you said to yourself, I don't know how the hell I'm going to do this?
I felt like I was in prison for 4 years. Because if you're there doing
Boy,
those
that's
things,
a glorious endorsement.
I know it, because you know what? You don't appreciate it until you get out. Because you're put in the situation that, listen, you got all these responsibilities on you. And at Notre Dame, nothing comes easy. Classroom, you're competing against some of the best people in the United States or overseas. So you want to compete in the classroom. On the football field, everyone is shooting at you, or shooting to beat Notre Dame. And with that being bestowed upon us, it's like, you know what? I do. We're unique. We're unique in our own different way because, again, people are shooting for you. You got the bright students in this classroom, but it's present. You don't learn to appreciate once you get out because all the doors open for you because you did, or you've been through the challenges that people before you went through themselves.
Tony, be frank. When you hear people, and this has become a rather common theme over the past 4 or 5 years, when you hear people say, Notre Dame is yesterday's news. Notre Dame will never again win a national championship. Notre Dame is now just another institution. How do you respond?
I said, from these ashes, Notre Dame will rise again. And that's one of the things that have been said to me through the years, and Coach Holtz said this on a shirt that we played against Miami in my sophomore year. From these ashes, we will rise again. And that's what I feel about it. Notre Dame will rise again. We will not be the last national championship team of 1988. It may take some time, but we'll eventually get there again.
Hey, my friend, it's a pleasure to see you. You look like $1 million.
Thank you. Thank you. It's always a pleasure seeing you, Sam.
He is Tony Rice, former quarterback at Notre Dame. Tremendous individual. Daily Topic, of course, has been brought to you by our great friends in Indiana over at Carmichael's, 1052 West Monroe Street. Hey, it's just a wild fowl from the United Center. Stop in, enjoy a big steak, maybe a rack of ribs, whatever the case may be. I guarantee you, Carmichael's, once you step by, you're going to be a regular. I'm Chet Kopic. So long, everybody.